Hello and welcome to another episode of the Near Fall right here on WFRV Plus. I'm your host, Devin Willems. We touched on Tuesday, but we don't got Nick here. We got Ben,
Boo.
the reigning, defending Near Fall champion,
That's
up
true.
for defense this week. Only a four-man card, so I'm curious as to how this will end up, as normally WWE's cards a little bit more predictable. This one I think is relatively has some unique opportunities, but we'll certainly get to our picks here shortly. Ben,
Yeah,
did you watch AEW last night?
I did, of course.
Yep.
Winter is coming, but it's been here in Northeast Wisconsin for a while, it feels, with the freezing
Yep.
cold and so much snow.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good show. What about you? Did you catch it?
No, I did not catch it. I had to replace my tires. We drove down to Appleton, and by the time we got back, it was a little bit too late. But certainly, from what I caught on some of the social media clips and some highlights of it, I liked a lot of the directions that they chose. The first one, I mean, new AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions, Harley Cameron, Willow Nightingale, Babes of Wrath. What were your thoughts on that? I don't want to say not a shocker.
Not a shock.
But-
I mean, with talking with you and Nick over the past couple of
Yep.
weeks, I feel like we both kind of began to turn around on Willow and Harley coming out on top, and that's what it ended up
Yep.
being. For an inaugural title match, I thought it was a tad bit underwhelming based
Okay.
on who was in the match, but still a good match, still solid. Yeah, I can't argue with who came out on top in that one.
Yeah, as I touched on, I think I kept saying like the winner will be on the left side. It's either the Sisters of Sin or the Babes of Wrath when it got to the semifinals.
Yep.
Now, I like both Willow and Harley being the champion. I think Harley being on TV is as much as possible is a good
Oh
thing.
yeah.
She's really good, does a lot of good stuff. And maybe more so, I think her strength is outside of the ring, but she's certainly improving in the ring. Willow, all for it. I think she is a very solid women's wrestler, and this is a great belt to have on her. While I think Tony and Mina would give credibility to the belts, I think Tony's more positioned to go after slightly more important things in AEW, but Willow and Nightingale ended up beating Sisters of Sin. Who did they beat in the first round?
Oh, man.
Sisters of Sin was the semifinals. It was Windsor Rio in the top right.
Right.
Then it was KJ in the bottom right.
Against Shafir and
Yep.
God, who was the other team over on that side?
Then it was Hayter and Aminata on the left. And then the top left. And then the bottom left was, I guess, let's see if I can quick
You
pull
have
it
to
up.
look that up. It's been a while. But while you look it up, Willow is so deserving of this. I'm super curious of that back and forth between Harley's entertaining side and Willow's
yeah.
entertaining as well. So
That's what I thought.
we'll see how that plays out. What'd you find? What was
Athena
it?
and
Oh.
Monet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are some major wins.
I
throughout
mean,
that.
look who they went through. They went through Monet and Athena, the TBS champion and Ring of Honor's main champion. And then they went through the Sisters of Sin / Julia Hart and Sky Blue, a very formidable tag team who has been in AEW for a bit. And then they beat Mina and Tony, Tony is probably the best women's wrestler in AEW to this point.
Yeah.
And Mina is a solid secondary act. So
Where do you got them going for the first title defense? Do you have them that was a team that was in the tournament, or are they going a different way?
I think I would go a couple ways. Depends what their goal is. If this is going to be a belt where it's going to switch hands a lot, I could see them going like Shafir and Bane. If it's a more of a okay, let's build it up first, I could see it being like an Anna Jay and Tay Mello style of feud. And then besides that, I would go more of like an ROH type of like talent to kind of kick it off, maybe like the Renegade Sisters or something like that, where like they'll win, but it's a way to get them on TV. I don't know who the second person, like I honestly don't know who they would have be right away. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess based on your routes, still think they might go back to Sisters of Sin. Not that they'll win, but that's an easy feud to set up with
I
how it's been in the past, and
Sure.
you could easily keep that going.
Now the Triangle of Madness and Statlander got into it on AEW's. We'll kind of
Yep.
touch on it now. What I think it would be interesting. That's not the Sisters of Sin. There we go. Do that one. Statlander, I think going against either Thekla.
You could really pick any three of those.
Yeah,
really.
that's what I was trying to think. Is like almost, but then can they do both at the same time? I mean, in theory, they could with Thekla going after the belt, and then Hart and Blue going after Willow. And
Yeah.
I think it just kind of stretches them a little thin. I would say I think them going after Statlander is a really solid not first, but a reign for or somebody that can challenge Statlander, have some credibility, but they're probably not going to win. And I think that would be a good way. I would say Thekla would be who I would highlight in Statlander's defense here.
Yeah.
But she did try to break up stuff on last night between the Triangle of Madness, and they were just like attacking people, and she came out and made the save. So that's kind of where I would lean first for Statlander, is to go after that group, and then maybe win, come out, and then maybe Tony Storm is meeting her on the other side of that one. But so Babes of Wrath won. I like the name. They have a fun little chant. Hangman and Swerve teaming up, ended up beating Powerhouse Hobbs and Shibata, part of the Trios champions from the Ops. Thoughts on Hangman and Swerve tagging together?
I was thinking about that beforehand. I mean, it was good to see him tagging I mean, it just needs I mean, they have such a past, right?
Yep.
And it just feels like that story hasn't been interwoven into these little small details yet. Having them team together, good to see. I just curious the way they take it. You know, are they gonna be buddy for a while, or is it gonna be, hey, I wanted a title match against Joe? No, I want a title match against Joe type of thing. You know, a decent match. I like the little split screen in the beginning where we had some action in the crowd. So nothing to complain about there on my end.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of them tagging together at all.
No.
I like when Hangman won the belt and Swerve kind of like reluctantly looked back. You know, he didn't really help Hangman. He just attacked Moxley's group, and he looked back and kind of like smiled for like Hangman to win the belt. I think that's a fine like respect, but I don't understand how the hatchet has been buried per se. Like some of the stuff that they've kayfabe done. I kind of was hoping that they would have some struggles as a tag team partner, lose, and then kind of blame each other, and then try to build that rivalry back up. I mean, it's one of AEW's best rivalries, Swerve and Hangman. There's a lot of stuff going on. I just don't know how they get back to it after these two have been taking for a bit. I'm not a huge fan of it, and I kind of hope it ends relatively soon. But they're one of they're top people in AEW, so I'm sure them being on screen, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. So you don't want a tag team championship run?
Probably not.
I don't either. Yeah.
Unless it's going to set up a huge turn by one of them. It would probably have to be Swerve, but we'll see on that regard. I think one of the better ones, Bang Bang Gang and FTR next week. Next week already, they're going to England and it's going to be in Manchester. So I think that'll be a fine tag team match. Maybe a Jay White appearance.
Yeah, I think that might be a good call.
So, but I don't know if they'll. I doubt that they'll win the belts, the Bang Bang Gang, that is. But I think it'd be a kind of a unique way to bring Jay White back into the fold. And I think he's been getting closer and closer. I think the match of the night, and a lot of people have talked about it, but Mike Speedball Bailey beat Fletcher in a very good TV match. I've heard great reviews of it. I've certainly seen some clips of it. Speedball was going all around the ring. Talked about this with Nick on Tuesday. I'm like, this is a perfect avenue, this Continental Classic, as a way to not have upsets, but have people win and not really like affect like the credibility or like the. It's a cool way to have shocking upsets. And Speedball beating Kyle Fletcher, which is Kyle Fletcher's first loss in this tournament, was certainly a shock and a really good match. I mean, it seemed like there was a lot of back and forth between the two.
Yeah, the match was off the charts, you know, and you touched on it. I feel like this year more so than in Continental Classics in the past, they've been going that route where speedball type can beat Fletcher, right? And it's almost similar to how they do it in New Japan with the G1, where there are quite a few upsets that you don't expect. And this year it seems like there's a little bit more of those. But man, Fletcher might be one of the best in the game at late kickouts.
Yeah.
Because there was some incredible spots there. Like who will win that match? That match might go down as the top 3 group stage of the
I heard
this year.
there's multiple people on the internet, which I mean that's again we're on the internet here, but they said that was like one of the best TV matches of the year, if not the best.
Maybe
of a very good match and it's good for Speedball. I mean, you're talking about he might not come out of this Continental Classic as like the winner or going to the finals, but he's got a win over Kyle Fletcher. So if Kyle Fletcher ever wins a belt, he can say, "Hey, a couple weeks ago, I beat you. You know, how come I don't get a belt?" So it's I all for it. I think these upsets like this are great. Jungle Boy Jack Perry lost.
Yep.
Against Okada. He was the fill-in for Darby. So that was kind of I'm sure Perry will hopefully get a win here, but Okada keeps his points at 6, or gets up to 6. So I'm curious of who will end up coming from both sides. Moxley hasn't been too good. He's 1-2. He's lost to Takeshita and was it Orange Cassidy?
Moxley, I have it up here. He's lost to Claudio,
yes, and Takeshita.
And he beat Dorada.
I really like the Continental Classic. And if they keep doing stuff like this, it's always great. If you never know who's going to win, it kind of just adds to that factor of like, oh, I'm really going to tune into this, which we'll get into for Saturday in the main event, I'm sure. Hangman did continue with the Hangman. He did talk about how he wants a title shot at World's End, but no matter if it was Kingston or Samoa Joe who wrestled on the main event, and Samoa Joe ended up winning.
Yeah. Relatively a ho-hum match there. Nothing really stood out. There was never really, never really going to think Eddie's going to win that. But, Hangman said he wants the challenge. Maybe that's where Swerve and Hangman's story ends at World's End, or not ends, but a triple threat at World's End, That's what
I was kind of pitching. And then, does Swerve return the favor and tap out so Hangman doesn't get the belt? And then, you know what I mean? Because previously Hangman tapped out so Swerve wouldn't win. And Swerve thought that Hangman tapped out on purpose so Swerve wouldn't win the match. Would be interesting to kind of see that go back and forth. So that was somewhat AEW. They are moving overseas next week. Very curious on the results. Any debuts? I'm sure they'll tap into some of the local scenes like they've done in the past for some maybe not undercard, but just some like a unknown opponent, and then that's just somebody from one of the local British scenes there. So we'll take our first break. When we come back, we have Saturday Night Main Event, our predictions, and possibly a new champion. So stay with us. We'll be right back after these breaks. Hello and welcome back to the Near Fall. I am your host, bring the name up, Devin Willems. We have been in-house. We got to make our picks for Saturday Night Main Event. Only 4 matches announced so far. I don't know if they're going to go more than this. I know there's going to have like a pre-show and they might have some other matches that kind of happen on the actual card. But as of right now, there's only 4 matches on the card officially. That's what we're going to pick off of. If something crazy happens, maybe where they add like a Jade Cargill match or something like that, maybe we'll have to text and make our picks that way. But right now, we only have 4, so we're only going to go off 4. First one, Bayley and Sol Ruca. Any interest in this? Who do you think wins? I mean, again, they talked about how this card's going to feature, younger talent and older talent, so they're trying to mix some in as we can see. They are certainly doing that. But who do you think wins between Bayley and Sol Ruca?
I'm seeing... looking online, I'm seeing a lot of Sol Ruca predictions. Mm-hmm. I'm basing this match off of the rest of my predictions in the card.
Yep.
And so I'm taking a shot on Bayley. It makes the most sense with what else I have lined up. Sol Ruca will have an amazing performance. She's very talented. She might make the main roster soon. Who knows on that? And hopefully this kicks off finally some good storylines with Bayley going forward. But I have Bayley coming out.
All right. Who does Nick have?
Nick has Saul Ruka.
Yeah, I think. Golly, this one is kind of tough because Bailey really hasn't done much recently. She's not like a Intercontinental champion, U.S. champion. So it's kind of hard to see her losing again. I'm gonna go Sol Ruka just kind of based on my other picks as well. So I got Sol Ruka beating Bailey. Nothing. I don't know how this will be. I think it'll be a fine match. I could easily see Bailey winning this one. I'm just gonna go Sol Ruka. On that one. Next take team match: AJ Styles. We call him AJ Lee. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee going against Javon Evans and Slater. I'm gonna go AJ Styles and Dragon Lee in this one. This is for the WWE tag team belts. I don't think they move the belt off of them, especially for an NXT tag team, because then they would need to appear on not only NXT, presumably NXT, but also on WWE. I just don't think that it'll happen.
Yeah. Is it a tag team title match?
I thought so.
I don't know for sure either.
Oh.
But so I was just curious.
Maybe not. I don't know. They had the belts in the stuff.
Yeah.
I
think I saw one thing that said it was, and then I saw another that didn't mention it. But anyway, while you look that up, Nick has Evans and Slater.
Okay.
In the upset, if you will. Styles and Dragon Lee are fresh in that title run. It's like 50 some days. I don't see what a loss, whether it's for the titles or not, I don't see how a loss, helps that title run, whatever. So I'm with you. I'm going Styles and Dragon Lee here.
Yeah, who does Nick
had Evans and Slater. Yep.
I don't know why I didn't do that. I'm gonna quick check to see if it is for the main event, because if it's not, or if it isn't for the titles, then that here we go.
Because at my first look, I thought there was no title matches, but
maybe it's not. World Tag Team Champions AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus Javon Evans and Leon Slater. Yeah, I am not sure. I don't know why it wouldn't be for the tag team belts at this point. I mean, if you're just
right. Add a little something to it and have the belts on the line, but no.
Huh. I might have to revisit some of my picks. But yes, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee going against Javon Evans and Slater. The next one, a very interesting one, Cody Rhodes and Oba Femi. I'm all over this match.
Oh, yeah.
Let's start with Nick. Who does Nick have?
Nick has Cody Rhodes. I haven't talked to him in a while, so I don't know if he talked to you about like any descriptive of the match or anything, but no, he gave me the winner, Cody Rhodes, which obviously isn't crazy. It's against the NXT champion. He's the world champion. So you want me to go next then?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I've
already circled mine.
I'm throwing a curveball here. I'm going Oba Femi.
Okay.
I do not think this is going to be a clean finish on that side of things. It's either a Drew McIntyre or Masked Man appearance, something there. I'm not sure.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I would lean Drew McIntyre over the masked gentleman. But this match kind of mirrors Kevin Owens' debut when he first came up on the main roster in 2015, and he beat Cena.
Yeah.
So, Cena had a hand in this card. I'm thinking they're going to kind of mirror that in a way. So I'm going Oba Femi.
Yeah, I have Oba Femi as well. I don't think Cody Rhodes needs the win. I don't know what a win does for Cody Rhodes in this scenario. He's already, one of WWE's top guys. He isn't somebody who's like, when's the last time he even really lost a match?
Yeah.
So, I think Oba Femi is just really good. Really good look, does a lot of cool things in the ring, and even outside the ring. So I would go Oba Femi in this one. But I did make some picks, so I'm actually going to swap my first two. I'm going to pick Bailey, and then I'm going to go to Slater. So I'm going Bailey, because if it isn't for the belt, I think Bailey will win. I'm just trying to balance out some of the young guys, some of the older guys. I think Evans and Slater will win. Since it's not for the belt, I don't know why it's not for the belt if Slater and them aren't going to win.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
a good point.
If it was for the belt, then I was going to say AJ. But if it's not for the belt, so I guess I don't know if I'll put a stipulation. If that changes between now and then, if it's for the belt,
it's a
I think
championship.
AJ Lee wins.
Yeah.
If it's not, I'll go to NXT. And just so not all of the NXT people are winning, I'm going. That's why I switch it to Bailey.
Yeah.
And then Cody Rhodes to Obafemi. I got Obafemi. And then now the main event, the big one that just we kind of talked about it in the past. I don't know. John Cena, old guy, does he go out on his back like all old, like people who retire do? He has repeatedly said that this is his last match. On podcast, publicly stated like this is seriously the end. So obviously he might like show up for WrestleMania and maybe like be the host for one of the things. So I mean, but I think his actual like televised match, promoted match, this will be it. I will go first. I think it's Gunther. I think it's Gunther in a landslide. I don't think John Cena wins. I don't think he goes out on his back. Or I think he does go out on his back. I think that's the way it is.
Do you have him tapping out to the chokehold? I know they've emphasized it in the promos and stuff.
Yeah, how he says he's like never gives up.
Right.
And that kind of like would show a crack in his armor. I don't know if he taps out or if he gets pinned. I'm going to say pinned. I just don't think he taps out. I think
Or he could pass out.
Sure.
Way.
I mean, yeah, I just don't think he taps out because that's been his whole shtick is never give up. I don't know why they're changing that now.
Right.
So I would go pin or pass out.
Okay. All right.
What do you got?
I'll do Nick first since he's the same as you. He has Gunther.
Yep.
I haven't looked recently, but it was rumored to open the show. Correct? Did anything change in that?
That's what I saw. I saw that as well, and I think Cody Rhodes and Obafemi would then close. Yeah.
Right. And so
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I honestly I don't know how this wouldn't main event, but at the same time, it's got a main event or open.
Yeah.
The other two matches are for sure the sandwich matches.
Yeah, I guess either way, whether it opens
I don't know how
or closes,
but yeah. I mean, I did see that opening match. I did see that.
So if the rumors are true and it opens the show, I just don't see it ending on or starting with that sad note of Cena.
Well, that's
going
the thing
out.
It's sad no matter what because it's his last match.
Right.
I just don't understand how it won't main event.
I don't either.
Because
I would have that main event.
Yeah.
That's a slam dunk. But the rumor's true, whether it's like you give him as much time as he wants, right?
Yep.
So you open it and they can go as long as they want to. People are going like it could be an hour long. Well,
maybe.
I hope it lasts. I hope it's good. But I'm going the opposite of you and Nick. I'm going Cena coming out on top. I could see him if he does lose. I could see him passing out. He's not going to tap.
Yeah,
a clean pin is so hard to see. I don't see him going out on a losing streak. I see it as a somewhat happy ending.
Then I just don't know why Gunther's the guy he goes against. That's the one thing is like Gunther kind of needs it. I don't want to say kind of needs this because he's still Gunther, but like I think Gunther is the near perfect guy to end John Cena's career. Gunther has been one of WWE's top guys. I would have just said, why not just have this be like this could have been Jey Uso or something. I mean, it should have been Jey Uso, but like if John Cena was going to win, I don't know if I would feed him Gunther is kind of the thing. And
I get that. Now, as far as his last match, now obviously he's not going to make appearances, right? But if there is like a one-off at a WrestleMania, what are the odds you put that at?
50%.
50%. That is another match.
Yeah.
I know Nick would probably be higher just based on the talks with him. Yeah, I'd probably go a tiny bit higher.
All right. Well, let's take our last quick break. When we come back, we will shortly wrap up our Saturday night main event. So stay with us right here on WFRV Plus. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to the Near Fall right here on WFRV Plus. Just got done making our predictions for Saturday night main event. We were kind of touching on it right before we went to break. Is last matches for Cena or not? Do you think anybody interferes or comes out after the match? That was one thing that Nick has been preaching to the choir for a bit. Is The Rock comes out at the end and says, "I'm the final boss and I'm the one that you face." So then that's in that world I could see Cena winning, and then someone no, actually, this isn't your last match will be at WrestleMania for me one last time.
Yeah. Yeah, even before this, I going through my notes before we recorded, I was leaning The Rock. If there's going to be anything, I don't want it to have it interfering directly in the match during the match, but if there is someone afterwards, right, we're saying goodbye to Cena or something, it's got to be big. It's got to be The Rock or nobody really, because I feel like it would just ruin it.
Triple H.
Yeah, I'm sure he will come out. Triple H, but I don't know. I don't see it exactly playing out the way Nick thinks, but I would like to see it be The Rock, if anybody.
Yeah, I could certainly. I mean, I don't know who else it would be. Kevin Owens has always like kind of been rolling around. Yeah, I'm just shocked that there's just not more on the card.
They could have a bunch of people out there celebrating with them.
Yeah.
You know, and then someone turns on them right in the middle of a celebration or something.
Like who? I don't know. That's the thing. Like
Kevin Owens, you just mentioned.
Yeah, but he got it. But he doesn't even need to turn. He can just come out.
Well, you're right, and you wouldn't have Kevin Owens make his return and during this, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think the whole build to this has been relatively mediocre at best. The first part, him turning heel, really good. And then ever since that, until he turned face again, was just forgettable and kind of pointless. I think the last little bit has been okay. He's had some solid matches. He only won the IC title just so he can do the Grand Slam, which is fine. Him and Dominic matches were fine. Kind of really hasn't been doing anything while this tournament's been going on. He kind of came out and promoted. I guess also LA Knight could have just won and then lost in the finals if Cena was going to lose. I just don't know why they would feed him Gunther. It still could. Like I said, I could see him winning barely, and then at the end, someone coming out and challenging him for one last time. Closing thoughts for John Cena's last time. Next time we'll talk, he'll be done wrestling, quote unquote.
Yeah. Final run was fine. Obviously, you know, it's so hard perfecting something like that. But the point for me is it wasn't even close to being perfect.
No.
You know, it just felt everyone was left feeling that there's more to be desired.
Yeah, a lot of meat left on the bone, as I would say. So I would agree with that sentiment. Is not the best, not a whole lot of structure. Just felt weird, and they didn't really know what to do with it, especially that first part and middle part. But the end part, I think they're trying to stick the landing, and they're pretty close to doing so. This will be the time to tell. You know?
Yeah.
So we'll see. Until next time, we'll see you right here on WFRV Plus. Been the Near Fall. Until that next time, keep your shoulders off the mat. We'll see you until then. Thank you for watching The Near Fall on WFRV Plus.